Sup world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week to chit chat with you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands onto. This is episode 71 and I am filming it on October 17, 2023. Coming to you from a currently dry Pacific Northwest. It's cloudy, light clouds, but it has been dumping rain. So right now it is dry. We'll see if that continues. Who knows? If you are new here, because there are several that are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see and stick around if I am palatable to you. And if you are a regular visitor, you know what you're in for. So welcome to you as well. Let's get into it, shall we? I think we should. What am I drinking? Tea, of course. Is there any other option? Okay, occasionally I do drink water, but normally it's tea, and today it is tea. This is a, what was it? Maple Ginger Butterscotch Black from Plum Deluxe. Easy to say, as you can tell. Haven't tasted it yet. It smells pretty good though. Not as gingery as I was expecting. Gotta be careful with ginger in your tea. Sometimes it overwhelms. Don't taste any maple though. Don't really taste any butterscotch. Huh. It's warm, it's tasty. I will enjoy it, I'm sure. I have a whole bunch of new fall teas. Did I need them? No. But if you've met me, tea. It is a necessity. It really is. Right, let's get into it. I have a finish that I can't show you because I can't find it. Yeah, I finished my September's Revenge socks. I don't think that's what they were actually called, but the socks from the package from Evertote. I finished them. I finished them in time to take them to Jacob Palooza. I put them on my dresser so that I could wear them to Jacob Palooza weekend too. And then I promptly forgot them. And then when I came home and I was unpacking and putting everything away, I put them away, I thought. But I can't find them. So, envision here, some lovely striped socks. I have no clue. No clue what I did with them. But I finished them. Grrr. Grrr. Oh well. What are you supposed to do? Maybe be more, I don't know, organized. That'd be something to do. But that would be the only finish I have. I can't even show you because I misplaced it. Whatever. But I do have several whips to show you, a couple new starts, and a lot of chaos. A lot of chaos. Let's get into the whips. I will start with, let me reach over here. My Tonight We Ride by Autumn Lane Design. I was working on this and I did a little bit more than the last time I was here. I am doing this from the October box that they did last year. And I've received this year's October box, but I don't know if everybody's gotten it yet, so I'm not showing it. This is done on the called for 32 count pumpkin patch from Bestitch, and I'm just using the DMC. And I finished an entire witch and started the second. Ah, whoops! Let's get the whole witch in there. Let's not cut off the back end. There's my whole witch, and then a good chunk of a second witch. And I am loving this on this fabric. It is so fun. It is so fun. I really do enjoy this. My goal on this one for this year was to finish this witch. And I have. So, I can pack her away until next year. When gosh only knows what I will work on when. But I have plans. I have plans. Several of them. We'll see if any of them actually work. But I've got plans, and that's really all that matters. Other thing that I pulled out for this past time, and I'm still going to be working on this one for a little bit. I pulled out Thriller by Sampler Cove. So that one. I started this eons and eons ago. I started this before I quit stitching for like 8 years. And I pulled it back out and started working on it again. It is still in the Q-snap because I'm still working on it. And there we go. Oh, look at that. Loving it. Loving it. This is on an unknown fabric. I started it like a decade ago. I don't remember what it's on. I didn't keep track of things like that when I used to stitch. But I am using Vicky Clayton silks in an Oh My God red and their basic black. Just one strand of silk, 1/2. Oh, my witches, Tonight We Ride. That is 2/2 on 32 count because duh, 2/2. I finished up this alien line. I think they look like aliens. Look at them. They look like aliens. So I finished up this one. And what I want to finish before I put this one away again is, here, let me get it closer. There's this little pattern here, which goes underneath. And then I do another words section. So the words section will go down there. And then I think I will be putting it away. Oh, so good. Doesn't it look nice? I love it. It's a good one. It's hard to see from back there, so let me do that. So nice. So very nice. I'm enjoying it a lot. And that's almost all of my stitching, but I do have one more. It'll just come in new starts. The other whip I was working on is my Dunrobin sweater, where I have finished the neck. The only thing I have left to do on this neck, the only thing I have left to do before I wash and block this baby, is the tubular bind off. And I just keep putting it off and putting it off. But I have everything else done. See? There's the entire sweater. The ends are not all woven in and trimmed, but they're finished. And here is the length of the collar. Here's where I was last time I was going to pick up for the collar. And here it is. All I need to do is bind off. That's it. That's it. Have I done it? No. No, I haven't. Again, I am using Studio Donegal Irish Heather in their, I'm calling it Blackberry colorway because they're using just a bunch of numbers. What numbers are they using? They're using shade 3BC8093. Very memorable. And these are on a US size 8 5.0 millimeter. So close to finished. So close. Just need to do the tubular bind off. That's it. I know how to do it. I'm not intimidated by it. I just haven't bothered. Hopefully by the next time I film, I will do that. Because I would like this finished so that I can wash and block it and have it all ready for nice, cozy walks. So good. It is living in my library bag from Bags by Awesome Granny. All right, that is all of the whips. So let's get into the new starts, of which I have a couple. First new start, I started the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along. Oh, yes, I did. Now, it's called Geogradient this year. If you're in the knitting world, you know there has been some drama with the first clue of this release. If you are not in the knitting world and you're not paying attention to that, you have no clue, because how could you? So, Stephen West released the first pattern of the clue, the first clue of the pattern. And he'd done a pinwheel type shape. Problem. Sometimes pinwheel shapes will trick our eyes into seeing a particular hate symbol. Yeah, so he had kind of an accidental hate symbol in his pattern. It was brought to his attention, and he was rightly horrified because that was not his intent. not what he was going for. He saw a pinwheel, and when your eyes are focused on seeing a certain thing, that's what you see, and that's where your brain goes. But someone with fresh eyes can see something totally different. The human eye is a very strange thing. We make patterns out of absolutely everything. That's what the human eye and brain does. Often that's for good things, like we see weird faces in fire hydrants and dragons and clouds and all sorts of patterns everywhere, but sometimes it can be bad, like accidental hate symbols in a knitting pattern. Or often this happens in quilting patterns, where it's a pinwheel and then they look at it and they go, oh, oops, not intended. So he changed the pattern because he did not want to be dealing with that. And he was trying to react in time. Like, it was out there on the internet. There's no getting rid of it once it's on the internet. And each pattern is released every Thursday. Like each part of the clue is released weekly. So Thursday, clue 1, drama. The next Thursday, the next clue is coming out. And so he is trying to respond in real time to this occasion. And doing the best he could, some stumbles were done. By the, I think, Friday, I'm not even sure exactly time frames, but by the Friday, he had said that the original clue 1 was completely taken down by him. His pattern has changed. There's a new version of clue 1. That is the one he would prefer everybody to use. And the tutorial that he had on, he also removed. Now, certain people have put it back up because I guess they don't care about copyright. It's not their work. They shouldn't be doing that. I'm protesting. No, you're illegally working off of somebody else's work. Don't do that. Anyhow, it's led to a lot of drama. I think we're all past it now. However, because of that, because when it first started, I think I have all the bits in here. Do I? No, I might not have all the bits in here. So when it first came out and I watched it, I just started knitting because I wanted the clue to be a surprise. That was my goal. So I started knitting. And I was trying to not get to the end of the tutorial video. So I did not know what I was working on. And I was knitting away, and I'd done a good chunk. And then I get something in my email saying, problem. Please, punt, change. Here, do something else. And then I watched to the end and went, yeah, okay, yeah, I do kind of see an accidental hate symbol there, and I'd rather not be associated with that. All right, let me see what's going on Ravelry. And I go onto Ravelry and went, oh, some people are very angry. It's a mystery clue. Nobody knew it was coming. And then changed. Anyhow, it's been drama. So I'll just do an I'll play around with the colors and I will come up with an alternate version. And so I put my pinwheel original version, I'll take it off and I start a second one. And I get, there's like 4 parts to this first clue. And I was through 3 parts of the first clue. When I first stopped, I was knitting, I was going to get clue 1 done in plenty of time. And then I start on a second version of the original first clue. And I get partway, like clue 1, I've started clue 2. I'm a good way through part 2 of clue 1. When another announcement is made that he would prefer that no one does clue 1. And he did a video about why he felt that way. And I watched the video and I go, all right, toss clue version 2 off my needles. This is where a lot of people got upset that that part happened. He's trying to respond in short time, and I understand why it happened, so whatever. I'm happy to change. And also, just means no more knitting, and I'm loving the yarn I got, so this is just more knitting, so yay. And I'm not keeping up this year. Clue 2's out. I haven't even started it. Clue 3's almost out. I haven't even gone to Clue 2. I haven't even finished Clue 1. At this point, people are doing all sorts of different things. Everybody seems to be doing a different Clue 1 at this point. There's lots of really interesting things coming out. Some people are doing garter squares, granny stitch garter squares for their center, and there is a lot of interesting creativity going on with the beginning of Clue 1. It's great. So I start Clue 1 over, and it's just garter stitch square, rating it out. But I'm all, meh, I'm going to do something slightly different. And here is my Clue 1. So I decided I didn't want to do the ochre cast on so that everything radiated out. I was just like, I don't have the right size DPNs, and I've already started 2 times, and I just had a really big gauge swatch for this project. Huge gauge swatch for this project. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I just did a little garter square for my center, and then picked up around it and started moving out. That's how I decided to start mine. And I decided to add eyelets in my Clue 1 because why not? I'm having fun at this point. My first color 4 has a mohair dare in it. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see? Fuzzy mohair. I decided to do a mohair dare all on my own. Throwing gosh into the wind. I am being wild and just mad with power with my Clue 1. And you can see this one I did stocking net, this one's garter, this one's an eyelet, this is another eyelet here, and right now I am doing just another plain garter in color 2. And I have to do colors 3, 4, 1, 2 again, and that will be the end of Clue 1. And I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I am doing stockinette corners just because I prefer that look better. It is sharper. So this is my Clue 1, and I'm doing this on the US size 4 3.5 millimeter needles. I think the US size 4 is what he recommends. And I am using Undercover Otter, which is merino yak silk. It's glorious to work with, I might add. Beautiful. And I'm loving it. And I just pulled out some mohair from my stash, some leftover mohair that I had from my rocket tee. And I was holding it with color 4 because I thought it went really, really well together. So there's been a lot of drama, and I hope it's gone. But I have seen Clue 2, and I'm kind of glad that I hadn't finished my Clue 1 because how I was going to finish it would have looked a little strange with this, not really strange, but I have chosen a different way to end my Clue 1 than I was originally because I have seen Clue 2. Because at this point, I don't care about the spoilers. I had planned this year to not see any spoilers as far as I could, which is why I didn't find out about the problems until he was releasing them to through emails explaining what was going on. If I'd been online, I would have seen it earlier. But this year was the year I was going to keep it all a mystery. Well, no, it's not. And that's fine. It's all good. I'm actually really enjoying it. I love the colors. The fabric that it is producing is so squishy and soft and drapey. I love this yarn. I've never used Undercover Otter before, and it is good. I love it. Love the colors. I love this turquoise pop. I love that these first 2 colors are very subtle with each other, and it just radiates out into a square. And I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Is it different than he had originally done? Yep. That's okay. It was a mystery. I had no clue what I was going to be stitching when I signed up. Guess what? I'm stitching this. It's all good. And I'm loving it. It's squishy and soft and kind of fun. And my eye played with me for the second clue too. it looked like a square. It did. I thought it was a square. I thought everybody was stitching more square. More square, more square. Bigger square. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. This is gonna, like, it was looking kind of like a hap shawl. And I'm like, that's really neat. I have a hap I need to start. So I was all, hey, this is kind of like a hap. That's really fun. And I'm looking at it, and it wasn't until yesterday when I saw someone's photo that I was like, what? The square doesn't go all the way around? What? It only goes on two sides, and then the other side goes on two, but they don't do this two corners. It's like a square that has two corners cut off. And I went, what did they did? They did something wrong. So I go back and I look at all the other pictures for clue 2. No, 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 my eye had just completed those two cut off corners, turning it into a completed square. So at this point, I've decided that the Stephen West shawl this year is just an optical illusion. We are seeing things and completing patterns in our heads for this one this year. For the better, hey, it looked like a full square, and the worse, it looked like an accidental hate symbol. But this pattern is very much an optical illusion pattern, and that's fun. Well, now, the completed ones are fun. So I hope to get back to this and finish clue 1 maybe before clue 3 comes out, because I'm obviously not keeping up. I am going to embrace my pace because I am far, far behind. But again, this yarn is so delicious to work with, I don't really care. I'm loving it. And yes, tons of ends, but they're all woven in, so I just need to clip them after I wash and block. And it's living in my Stephen West bag. But I did think I'd thrown my previous starts in there, and I haven't. And that's okay. So that is the Geo Gradient Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along with all of the drama. Wee. What else have I started? Right. I went to Jacob Palooza. It was fantastic. I know last time I was all kind of nervous and going, ooh, I'm not sure, oh dear. And then I was all, oh, I'm probably going to laugh at myself later and just be like, stitches are all amazing and really friendly. Yeah, I'm laughing at myself because stitches are amazing and really friendly. And I'd met a stitcher before I even left the airplane in London, because stitchers are amazing and welcoming. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Just had to take care of something. So, right, where was I? Oh, Jacob Palooza stitchers. They're amazing and nice and friendly, and yeah. Go to a retreat if you can. They're fantastic. I'll get more into that later. I needed some knitting for my travels, because you know what? London, Ontario is on the other side of the country. Made for a long flight. We won't talk about my flight home. But I needed something to start. So I pulled out a skein of yarn from McMullen Fiber Company. I pulled out their one of their Fiber Gallery 2022 colorways in their squishy base, which is just a superwash merino nylon. And the one I pulled out is this color. This color. Because it looked very fall. And I decided to start a Sockhead hat. So this is just a basic Sockhead hat. I have the 2x2 ribbing for days. It's like 4 inches of 2x2 ribbing. And now I am doing the something like 8 inches of stockinette before I do decreases. I think it's 8 inches. It could be 12 inches. I don't remember. I'm doing some number of inches after some number of inches, and then I do some decreases. It is on a 16-inch circular. I'm doing it on a US size 3, which is, what is that in metric? That's a 2 point something. No, it's a 3 point. Duh. It's 3.25. I know that. My brain is not working. And, yep, just did that. I'm enjoying it. It's looking lovely. I have some stoppers. And I should finish that pretty quickly. I put this in my It's Too People-y Out bag, which is from Evertote. I bought this years ago, before I started stitching again. Evertote had an Etsy page, and I saw this bag and went, I need to own that, especially since it's called It's Too People-y Out. And it wasn't until I'd bought several things from Evertote for stitching from their website. I think she had a website at this time too, but I bought this actually off of Etsy. And I was stitching one day and I looked down and I went, Evertote? That's an Evertote bag? I had no clue. So I thought that was hilarious. And so I brought it to Jacobpalooza. And Caroline saw it and she's like, oh my God, that's a blast from the past. I'm like, yeah, that's why I brought it. Thought she'd be amused. Because she doesn't make this kind of bag anymore. And I don't know when she stopped, but it hasn't been recent. And yeah, so I had to buy it because it's Too People-y Out. And yeah, I have had this for years. That was fun. And that's what's living in there. What else? Oh, my other new start is something I started at Jacobpalooza because I had no current, oh, technically I did have a current, well, I had two current modern folk embroideries, but one is this year's mystery mystery stitch. It's not a mystery. This year's Stitch Along, Reaching Skyward, and I'm so behind on it because I can't make up my mind because he gave me options. I cannot make up my mind, so I decided not to bring that one. Also, it's big. Then I also have my Ruskin's Penguins that I haven't finished. I could have brought that, but I didn't. I forgot. I had that one going. So I decided I needed a new start. So I decided to start his pattern Got the Morbs that I had to buy right away as soon as he had shown it. And I started this at the retreat. And I don't usually stitch in hand. I don't stitch in hand, ever. But I don't usually hold a hoop. But I did some. So that is as far as I got. This is on a mystery, I think, 32 count, but it might not be. It is on a mystery purple. And I am using 2 strands over 2. And this is Roxy Flosco's Cousin It. Isn't that amazing? Look. And that is as far as I made it, which I thought was pretty decent because I was chatting a lot. And I had to leave a day early. Well, not a day. I left early Sunday morning, so I wasn't there Sunday at all. But isn't that great? I'm absolutely loving it. And amusingly, somebody else at my table was also stitching this. They started in the center. By the time they finished, they had like the entire Got the Morbs and the 2 candlesticks, and we're starting the border. So we were both at the same table, stitching Got the Morbs, because we've got the Morbs. And I love it. So that is all of the stitching. Woo! And all of the knitting that I have been doing. Oh, technically I did also work on my half and half wrap. I worked on that on one of the flights, but it's just more green. There's no reason to show it, so I'm not going to. I did work on it. But yeah. So let's get into the retreat and do a little recap. I'm not going to mention names because I'm not going to remember anybody's name. I still haven't recovered. I'm exhausted. My entire body still hurts. And then I had my mammogram yesterday, and now even more of my body hurts because, ow. That was unpleasant. I'm all good though. So, thumbs up on that. I met amazing people. My table mates were fantastic. I got to chit chat with people and stitch with people and meet other people, and I was happy. It was amazing, and I would go back to a retreat in a heartbeat. All of Caroline and her entire staff were epic, putting it all together and having it run pretty smoothly, and it was great. And Jacob is a sweetheart. The man is really intelligent, really patient, happy to help people, happy to chat with people, just laid back, fantastic, evidently bought a lute, even though he doesn't play one, which I thought was adorable. And he had all sorts of antique samplers on display, and they were stunning. Oh, so stunning. Oh, so stunning. Just glorious. Beautiful, amazing pieces. And he was showing the backs of some of them, and they made me feel better about my backs, and then he reminded us that we're judging like 7-year-old girls, and I'm like, they still stitch neater than I do sometimes, so I don't know who's judging whom. And then he showed us the back of one of them. The only reason you could tell this one was the back was the letters were backwards. It was perfect. Perfect. Front, back, identical. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, she was probably also 12. Anyhow, it was amazing. He taught us how to do a hem stitch. And I did. Normally you don't do it with blue. Normally you're doing it with white. But I did the entire hem stitch. Look at this. Look at this. Wait, let me. I hem stitched a piece. I did that all by myself. It took me a little bit to understand the corners. The corners are a little strange. But I did. And I did it. And I hem stitched it. And I'm going to put on one side, I'm going to make my own Frisian L, because he taught us how to do Frisian letters too, and I was expecting that to be very complex, and it took no time. I was amazed. Hold on a second. Right, I'm back. I was amazed at how easy making Frisian letters is. I was expecting it to be super complex. It's gonna be, oh my god. Anyhow, my mind was blown by how simple it is, and also explains why samplers, especially Frisian samplers, are set up the way they are. And anyway, brain blown, mind expanded. It was glorious. So I'm going to put those on this side, and I'm going to do a 2023 on this side, and then I'm probably going to put some over one stitching saying Jacob Palooza somewhere on it. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe turn it into a needle book, or I don't know. I don't know. But that's my plan for this piece of linen that they gave us to try and practice our hem stitch, which I did at the thing. And now I have amazing thoughts. I think my my Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along from last year, the black sampler, I think I'm gonna hem stitch it. I think that's how I'm gonna finish it. And when I told that to Jacob, he pulled out his from last year and it's hem stitched. So I'm just gonna copy Jacob. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy Jacob. Hem stitch it. So there was that. It was delightful. Oh, we got things. We got things from people. One of my table mates made those. Stitching Owl made pretty much everybody in the place a stitch piece and finished them all. I'm in awe. Her name's Karen. I'm trying to remember people's actual names. I know I said I wasn't going to name people, but there were a lot of awesome people. A lot of awesome people. And they handed out some things, and I'm not going to be able to keep up with everybody's name, but look at that. That's the one she gave me. She thinks for everybody. It's amazing. And whose is this? I don't know. It's smarter than I am, though. I can't open it. Oh, Sunshine Stitchers. Sunshine Stitchers, because Sheila was there. Oh, it's a counting pin with butterflies. It's really cute. Counting pin. Butterflies. Poison. Throw away. But yeah, so that was delightful. Get in there. But But I loved all of that. What was I going to show? What was I going to show? I was going to show something. This might be taken out because I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, this is what I was doing. I made things for everybody. So for my table mates and a couple of the employees, the ones who wanted them, I was asking. I made giant waxers that were either honeycomb or a bee. So I made those. I made little pumpkin waxers for everybody else. And I put those together with some floss drops that I made with a picture that my son took from Titlow Beach down the street from us, of the sound with Galloping Gertie in the background. You have to squint your eyes really tight to see Galloping Gertie, but she's there. She's there. So I did that, and they also had a Frogger in there, and I think that was it. The ones at my table, I stitched, knitted. I knitted little coasters for people at my table, and I handed those out. They got to choose their own color. So that was my table gift, and then I made waxers and stuff for everybody else, handed them all out, which I'm glad I did, because it forced me to walk around to every single table, which forced me to interact with most people that were there, which also led me to looking at all the beautiful things that people were working on. Dang, people, there is some talent. There is some amazing talent. They had a brag table which had stunning pieces on it. I was really bad. I took so few photos. I might have taken some photos of that. If I did, I'm going to put a couple of them in here, because some of those things, oh my gosh. The Smalls Exchange, stunning, amazing, beautiful work. Y'all are amazing is all I'm just going to say. Y'all are amazing. Anyhow, I bought a few things from Jacob Palooza. Yep, I did. First, there's the piece that I bought for the event. I bought the large one, the ChiCi Gy Sampler. I'm trying to say it right. Jacob was trying to teach me. ChiCi, ChiCi, and ChiCi. Still don't have it right, but that's close. It's this. So that is the piece that I purchased, and it is a mother and daughter. A mother started it, the daughter finished it. So amazing. It's Frisian. All the beautiful, 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 beautiful threads, and the speculoos 40 count. So that was the piece. I did not start it. One of my table mates did, and she got a decent ways in. A couple people got a decent ways in. One person was working on it on 40 count. Looked beautiful. There were some learn how to do Frisian letters and learn how to do hem stitch. So those were there. This was the second piece that you could purchase. So I had to buy the pattern so I could start it. Beautiful. There was, let me reach in here and grab everything. There was some purchasing. The person who was sitting next to me was working on a modern folk embroidery piece, sampler. It was letters in this colorway, which is hippie. I know it's pink. I know, but it doesn't look pink very much when you're stitching with it, and it's beautiful for letters. So I bought two of those because it just looked too pretty, and I had to. I bought a mini Hanka Falu Red and a mini Hanka Planetarium. Oh, look at those. Isn't that gorgeous? It's gorgeous. I had to buy the Goth Roxy Flossco Needle Manor. She had one in colors as well, but I had to get the Goth version. So I got Goth Roxy. there was, oh goodness, those go together, those go together. I think I forgot one of the things. I did. We got a thread bed. This is the skein of thread that I used, that they gave us for doing the hem stitch. It is just navy. And that is the needle minder they handed out to everyone. And I have a needle right there, so that's why I'm being careful. Oh, another thing I got, a tiny jar of jam. That was one of the things one of my table mates made, and it is rosehip, and I've never had rosehip jam before. I put it in a Ziploc baggie for my travel home because, just in case. But it made it perfectly fine. So rosehip jam. I'm gonna have to try that later because it's pretty. Thank you, Kate. So that's some of the stuff I bought. And then there was this color of fabric that I kept looking at and going, what am I going to do with it? It's really pretty, but what am I going to do with it? Still haven't fully made a decision, but this was the color. It's 40 count Coco Loco. Look at this chocolate brown. It is gorgeous. This is 40 count. It's a half yard, so I can put on here, I'm thinking a long dog. One second. Had to sneeze. That's what I'm thinking. But I was walking around near the Roxy Flosses to figure out what I wanted to put color-wise on this. Verd is the word. That is what's going to go on here. I only bought one skein since I don't know what I'm going to do completely with it, so that the rest of the skeins that I buy will all be the same dye lot. That is going to be stunning. No clue what it's going to be yet, but it's, I think, going to be a long dog. And look at that. Look at that. I love it. It is just so good. On the screen, it's yellower than in real life. It is a gummy, springy green. It has some yellow tones to it, and I'm not a yellow person. But this is stunning. This is really stunning. And so yeah, Verd is the word. Coco Loco. There may be some sort of start along. The Verd is the Verd start along. Verd is the word start along. There might be with some people. But yeah, I had to do that. It is just the perfect color on here, and it makes me very happy. And then I'm done purchasing. I don't need anything else. I'm good. I'm done. Not gonna buy anything else. Then Saturday comes. And I'm missing something. There it is. Saturday comes. And we hear about how they're doing some charity charts for a place in London, a place that is feeding people that need help. So charity charts. I'm like, yeah, I can definitely get behind charity charts. I'll definitely do that. Oh, I've already bought those 2 charts. I'll buy them again. It's fine. And then Jacob starts describing Laura's Frisian sampler, which is a sampler that Laura from Brenda and the Cereal Starter bought a Frisian sampler with Jacob's help years ago. The plan was to recreate it at some point. She brought it to weekend 1 of Jacob Palooza. And Jacob looked at it and went, ooh, that's nicer than I thought it was going to be, because he bought it and sent it to her. I don't know the details. He helped get it to her. I don't know whether he purchased it or she gave him money. I don't know that part. That doesn't matter. With his help, that sampler is hers. It's glorious. And she brought it so he could actually see it in person, as he had not seen it in person. He sees it in person. He's like, that's much more stunning than I thought. I'm going to chart it. And I'm going to chart it for charity, for Caroline's charity thing that she's doing. And so between weekend 1 and weekend 2, Jacob charted it, the whole thing, figured out the colors, charted it up, and stitched like 80% of it, or 60%, something like that. Over halfway done stitching it. The man amazes me. I don't know how he does that. So we got first crack at buying it. So I did. So here are the colors for Laura's Frisian Sampler. It's a digital chart, so I don't have it to show, but I think they put it on the Evertote website last weekend, so you can go look for it yourself. And I'm going to use this piece of 40 count speculation for it. And I'm thinking this is going to be my New Year, New Start. Because, yeah, I think that's going to be it. Because it's just too fun. Just too fun. These were the 2 charts I bought. I already own this one. I think I already own this one. Not sure. And I bought Jacob's CD because it was also for charity. And it's Jacob singing and he has a good voice. So, needed to do that. And yes, I still have a CD player because I am old. His CD. All right. 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm really long-winded today. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Well, yeah, no, I am. So, right. It's all good. It's all good. I just have a lot to talk about. It was fantastic. The last bit of Jacob Palooza news that I'm going to share. I won a door prize. I won a door prize. I don't win anything. I won a door prize. And the door prize that I won was that I got to have kit up any modern folk embroidery chart I liked. What? I know! It was like, huh? Any chart, modern folk embroidery chart, any. I could have them kitted up for me. Whew. Overwhelmed, amazed, and floored. So, I chose Song of the Nightingale. I do not have it because they didn't have everything. Like, we descended like locusts upon the fibers and the fabrics. They didn't have everything. Not really surprised by that at all. But Hannah tried to get everything for me that evening, and they didn't have it all. And I'm like, that's fine. She's gonna mail it to me. And so I'll be getting it when it arrives, and I'll show it off then and be all, I won this. So yeah, that is the one that I chose. I chose Song of the Nightingale because it is gorgeous. And amusingly, evidently that's what weekend 1 person chose as well. I mean, it's a good chart, so obviously we have good taste. Whoever you were from weekend 1, we both have great taste because we chose the same chart to be kit up. Right. So that was Jacob Palooza. I'm so glad I went. It exhausted me. I need to plan better for traveling. It really, really super wore me out, and I'm still recovering. And I just read that there was a COVID person someone came down with COVID from weekend 2. So after I finish filming this, I am going to be testing. I did wear my mask almost the whole time. Sometimes when there were very few people in the room, I did take it off. But I did mask pretty much the whole time because I have to be careful. I did mask my entire flight. But flying home, my flight from Montreal to Seattle, I was like in a plague bubble. Person next to me coughing. Not like, no, like horrible coughing. The person behind me, I'm like, you must be dying. You sound like you have pneumonia or something. And they're just coughing away. Neither one wearing masks. People in front of me also coughing up a storm. The entire 6-hour flight. So, Little nervous. I kept my mask on cause duh. But yeah, a little bit nervous. Not staying healthy from that. Less worried about COVID exposure from Lollapalooza. No, Jacobpalooza. And more worried about the plague bubble that I was sitting in on the airplane. Yikes. And the flight. I had a child next to me on one of my flights. A small, kicky child. Obnoxious, screaming, kicking child. My flights home were unpleasant. But I made it. That's all that matters. That was the only downside to the entire weekend. It was great. If you have a chance to go to a retreat, do. They're beyond wonderful. Stitchers, I met knitters as well, but crafters are amazing people and very welcoming, and it was very comfortable to not know a single person, because that didn't last very long. Not knowing anyone didn't last. And I'm so glad that I went. I will happily try and figure out another retreat to go to, because I enjoyed it so very much. I learned so much. I chatted with people. It was great. Anyhow, let's get past that and get to what else did I purchase? Well, I'd purchased things before I went to Jacobpalooza, and now I can never buy another thing in my life after Jacobpalooza. Not quite true, but 2 mini hanks and a half yard of fabric isn't exactly cheap. I kept telling myself it was Canadian money, so it's like Monopoly money. It doesn't count. Not quite true. But that's what I was telling myself. Yeah, there's going to be a buying freeze. Starting now. What's the crinkle, eh? Give me just a second so I can finish crinkling, and then I'll let you know. But more crinkling must happen first. Oh, yeah. Well, what is this? What is this, you say? Well, this is October's Roxy Flosco. So let's do the brights. This is Lazy Morning, Dreamscape. Ooh. It is like an icy purpley white. This is Daydream, Violeta. Get over there. And Solitude. So there are the brights. Lovely, lovely. And then we have the neutrals. Dijon. Mum's the Word. That is a really nice rusty red. Green Fiend. Plumage. Oh, that one's showing up black. It is a purple black, but it's showing up very black on the screen, but it has a lot more purple in it than just black. And then, very appropriately, jack-o'-lantern. Don't know if that plumage is going to get the purple. Nope. I will say, being able to see all of the Roxy Flosses in person, oh, I love all of her blacks. I'm going to have to get all of her blacks because she has green blacks, gray blacks, black blacks, blue blacks, red blacks, purple blacks. And it's hard to see that on a computer screen, but in person you're like, well, this is obviously a different black than this. And I'm here for the blacks. So there's that. I received my Fox and Rabbit September Fabric of the Month, because I started doing their Fabric of the Month. This is Mayon, 40 count. And isn't that an amazing color? I just love it. It is got these purple tones and oh, it is so good. So, 40 count Mayon. Ooh, I received my Knit Spin Farm for November. No, this is October. For October. It's called Wildlife Welcome. Isn't that pretty? Glorious, beautiful autumnal colors. It is even, it's called, yeah, Wildlife Welcome, I told you that. It's even stripes of fox squirrel, which is the gold, house wren, which is red-brown, American toad, opossum, black, and baby screech owls. Oh, I have so much knitting I need to do. I can't start another pair of socks because I have the Halloween socks that I need to start. I have 2 pairs of Halloween socks that I wanted to start. Must knit more. I don't remember if I showed these, but I bought Juni and Sai True Colors, 2 skeins of the mohair. I was having a bad day at work when we had Juni and Sai come for the pop-up. I don't know, I think her name is June, but I'm not sure. I don't know her actual name. So while she was here up for the pop-up, I bought this because I was having a bad day, and it was cheerful and lovely. And I think I'm going to hold it with a neutral color underneath and have this be on top. And I think it's going to be a cowl, but I've not yet decided. I also bought these 2. I'm going to hold them together for a specific hat, and I think I wrote down the hat, the Lake Reed hat. So I'm going to hold those together for that and make a glorious hat. This is a forest in their fingering weight, and this is one of her one-hit wonders on her mohair. And I just thought it looked really lovely with the green. So there's that. I also received my next row 1 minis. The one for October. So this is from Twisted Ambition Yarns. And where did I put the cute little... I don't know what I did with the stitch marker. The stitch marker is like a little witch's broom. And I don't know what I did with it. Seem to have misplaced it. It is a really cute stitch marker, though. And I don't know where it went. I ate it. I don't know. But the colors are very bright. The colors might be a little more than I usually like. So this is Hot Boy Summer. Explosion, which is brighter than it's showing on the screen. Cheer Up is really toxic. Light Beam, again, it's brighter in real life. Highway Unicorn. Born This Way. Ooh, I like this one. Edge of Glory. Candle in the Wind. Nestled. Ice Ice Baby. And that is the end of all of my purchases. Thank goodness. Anyhow, I had a fantastic time. That's pretty much all that has gone on for the past 2 weeks. So I'm going to let you all go, and I'm going to clean up and edit and film. Edit and upload. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. Enjoy. Bye-bye.